Hi everyone, June here from Red Daisy Crafts. I'm so excited to be back with you. It's been many weeks, it feels like. Not usually gone this long, uh, but this year has been really different because I did change up my schedule a little bit. And then this past month we went on vacation, so I was away. And I did drop some recordings in YouTube, but it's Facebook does not like for us to upload, I guess, all these things. So, because it takes forever. So that took a little extra time for me to get those going, but I think all of them are now out there in the Facebook group. But if you're joining from YouTube, you had them. One actually dropped at the wrong time. We're making it up as we go because we just learn as we go, and that's all good, right? Because we are just here to be creative. So I'm excited to be playing with the Sparkling Celebrations paper pumpkin kit today. I'm not gonna do a full unboxing. I just feel like it's been so long, and most of you have already probably watched 10 other unboxings if you're watching them. And so why not just jump into some alternates? So I have two alternates planned for today. And so I hope that you'll hang out with me. Hi, Wanda. How are you? Oh, it's chilly still. Oh my gosh, we're at the end of May. I hope things warm up soon. However, careful what we wish for, because here it's going to heat up pretty quick for us. So this past week, one day, I know it was at least 97. So I know that's going to be happening really quick. But before I dig in, I just wanted to kind of tell you. So whenever I go on a road trip, I always love to take kits with me. And I made a couple kits while I was gone, so I just have to show. So I don't know if you've seen this kit, like Lots to Love. This is so precious. So I wanted to show you, there's a lot of little pieces to it, but this is these are just adorable. And there's like a lot of layers and things like that. And it's just a simple card, but look at those little flowers. And it just says, "Hello, dear friend." And then this card kit has three types of cards in it, and there are no stamps in this kit. So look at this one. So excited for you. Now there's actually supposed to be a layer here as well, but somehow I lost it when I was in the car. And so again, just another little cute card, and this one's my favorite. Look at that, isn't that gorgeous? It says, "Thanks, lots and lots," but look all the details and all the little layers and the little etching that's done in the card base. So that was one kit that I made, and I actually got to sit down with my cousin and make cards. That was so fun, and we made some of these cards together. So let me move that out of the way. Then I just have one more. And this one is Painted Skies. And I actually think this would go well with the paper that is right now out. I think it came with the new catalog. I don't even know the name of it, so you'll have to look at that. But these cards are really beautiful. They are sort of like, you could easily probably turn these into shaker cards, but you see that they're all this delicate die cut pieces, and then this opens up even more. So these have a lot of potential. This card kit, again, no stamps on this one. You know, that's easy for travel, all that kind of stuff. But that one said time to celebrate. This one says sending a little sunshine your way. And if you're joining, we're going to get started in just a few minutes. I'm just kind of showing some of the cards that I made when I was on my recent vacation. So that's that one. And then this one says, thanks for keeping me afloat. And this, again, all of these are these trifolds, but lots of potential. I think these would make gorgeous shaker cards. And so I just had to show you guys because they are just so fun. Again, that's Painted Skies. And all right, well, now we can move on, and we will get started with our paper pumpkin alternates. So if you missed at the beginning, I'm not going to do unboxing this month. It just doesn't make sense. The kit itself, I mean, I'm sure you've seen it, but if you're not familiar with paper pumpkin, I'll show really quick before we dig in all the way. And so this is one, oh, let me put you down to the table. Oh my goodness, I'm so silly here. Let's see. There we go. So this is one of the cards that the kit makes. I haven't put them all together, the original like plan for them, but here is the pamphlet that you get in every box with full color instructions, and but the pieces for the other two cards are here. And so you have this really gorgeous card base, and then you have some die cuts that are, you know, pre-foiled. These have silver foiling on them. There are die cuts for stamping your sentiments. So easy peasy. And there are some really, there is a, oh, I got a mosquito in here flying around. There is gorgeous envelopes that you can totally use for DSP. And then this one is one that we have. And this one I think makes like a window, and I think you can have this open. Oh, I feel like now I'm gonna get bit by the darn mosquito. And this just pops open here like that. If you haven't played with this yet, you want to be really, really delicate with it. If you decide to have this opening, I would probably go a little bit both ways so that you had better management of it, and then again you'd pop out the other side. But this has a really beautiful card base. Again, there's foiling, and there's some really fun die cuts for this as well. These are lanterns. They're like those floating lanterns. And this is a windowsill where you can stamp a sentiment on the card front. So really fun cards. I think this one would make also a great shaker card. I haven't played with this card base yet. I really only have played with the one that is here, and you'll see when we get started with the alternates. So let me get that out of the way, move that over. So this card kit has the coordinating colors are Blackberry Bliss, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Hydrangea Hue, Melon Mambo, Misty Moonlight, Night of Navy, Pumpkin Pie, Black, and Silver. And that's the stamp set that you get. So we have You Are Invited, Wishing You Happiness, and Time to Celebrate. So, and just, you know, if you're new here, the instructions also gives you like a little ruler. Everything you need for making the cards is inside the kit. So all your adhesives that you need, they all come in the kit. If there's an embellishment, which this one did have an embellishment, let me see if I can grab that really quick. Your stamps, and then also the ink spots. So there's the little silver sparkling embellishments that came, and then we also have an ink spot and the stamps that I've already put onto my blocks. When you sign up for Paper Pumpkin the first time, you are going to get a clear block that looks similar to this, and I use my ergonomic blocks that I've had for a long time from Stampin' Up. So I use those a lot, and so let's go ahead and dig in. So I made this card, and we're going to make it together. And I'm going to, if I can get my things here, because I keep throwing it on the ground. We are going to use the pieces, but we're going to make it a little bit different. We're going to kind of like step it up. So this, I'm going to say, is like kind of basic, but we're going to, well, it's a little more than basic, I guess, because I have put some foil paper behind there. If you can see the shining on the firework part. So I am using the, oh my gosh, what is Wonderful Scenes? So weird. I don't know why they wouldn't put English at the top. So I was like, what is that word? Wonderful Scenes dies. This is the quarter dies that come with the Paper Pumpkin. And so we're going to use the firework die. And so I use that on here. And behind here, I have some foil paper so that those elements that get cut out, that you can see the fireworks through the paper. So we are going to do this, but we're going to do a little bit of embossing. So heat embossing, not just die cutting. And then we're going to make it just a little bit different this time around. So we're going to do this together. So here I have my trimmer, and I have a Misty Moonlight this time. What I used on this card is Pool Party, okay? And but this time we're going to use Misty Moonlight, and I am just cutting my card base to 4 1/4, and then I will go ahead and score it at the 5 1/2 mark. Okay, then I need another piece of this Misty Moonlight, and that is going to be 4 1/4, which I already have here. So I need a 3 3/8 inch piece. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that right now. So that is going to be the Misty Moonlight pieces. Okay. And then I'm going to need a piece for inside the card. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 5 1/4. And then I will trim this down to 4 inches right there. I'll keep these pieces for future use. So we have that piece. Okay. Then I am going to use this card base, which we are going to use all of this today. But the first part I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this piece out of the envelope. So I'm going to go ahead and open up this envelope here. You know, when the paper pumpkin gives you beautiful envelopes like this, most of us that enjoy like creating our own things tend to want to like use it as DSP. So I'm going to go ahead and just take off, cut this part off and save that. Now I am going to clean out my trimmer here. I think my blade is getting a little old, but it's still working fine. So here I am going to go ahead and cut this down. So this piece I needed to be 3 1/8 by 4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the 3 1/8 piece right here. Oh my, the mosquito is back. Woo! Maybe we'll get it eventually. All right, so I have my 3 1/8 piece here, and then I need 4 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut as much into the dark before the fold line. And then I'm going to flip it around and do 4 inches so that I have more of the blue than I have of the yellow. Okay, so that's how we end up with that piece. All right. And then we need this back side of the card base here. So I'm going to go ahead and trim this off at 4 inches. Oh, I did 4 1/8. So I am only giving myself a very small, I guess, frame around it. So here I'm going to do 5 3/8 there and get rid of that. And we're going to save this for our next card. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. And then this is the piece. Now, I am not using any of the other pieces from the kit that was to make this card. We're going to use that on the next card. So I'm going to just set them aside over here so that we can put our pieces together. The last thing is I use some foil paper, and this is like a really, really dark silver. And this piece, I just need it to be 2 7/8 by 3 3/4. And it's just because I want it a little bit smaller to go behind this piece right here. So again, that piece was 3 1/8. So I'm just making it like a 1/4 of an inch smaller all the way around. Okay. And so I need 3 3/4. And then this is going to be 2 7/8. Okay. And then we're going to just set this out of the way because we don't need that. All right. I think that is all of the cutting on that card. And we are going to get started with the other elements of it. So just take a quick drink there, and then we can get started. All right, so we're going to do some stamping. And one of the things that I wanted to do different on here is I wanted to make a couple of these do heat embossing on them. Okay, and so I thought we could do that first. Okay, so I have my silver Stampin' Up! Embossing powder, and I have my Versamark here. Okay, and I have my fireworks stamp. Now I'm going to clean it really good just to make sure. I think I already did, but just in case, get it nice and clean. So let me use our Versamark. We're not messing up the Versamark pad. And I have my heat gun here. I'm going to get a piece of paper from my printer to use to keep the powder. And that way, I'm just going to go ahead and fold that so we can have a place to keep the powder. And so we're going to go ahead and start with our Versamark, okay? So we're going to get this good and juicy on here. And so the first one's going to kind of go right up here, okay? And then we're going to do a couple down here. So first we're going to have one about right here. And then we're going to have another one right here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and close that up. And we're going to get out our paper here and open up our silver embossing powder. And we're going to just get that on here. Probably have way too much, more than I need, but that's all right. I like to make sure. Now, probably some of you might be going, oh, I like to use an embossing buddy beforehand to get all the little specks off my paper. And that would have been smart if I thought of it. I don't do embossing that often, so I am not in the habit. So I'm just gonna make sure I do as much as I can on this part now to realize like that, so that I don't have little specks. Okay, I think I'm good. So we're gonna get our heat tool, and let me see if I can find my tweezers here to help me hold it. Now I do like to see here if you can see it happening. I think that's always the fun part of it, right? Now I know some people like to do it from the back, and some people you know, just do it this way, but right now we just have to get it there we go. I don't know if you're seeing that, but it is pretty fantastic when it happens. Oh, so beautiful. Oops. There we go. All right. Oh, I guess I didn't have it up all the way. Well, that was not smart. As I said, I don't do that too often. So, that looks so great. I'm glad I'm not alone, Wanda. All right, so I just think, like, for example, these are the two, and now this is going to just show up so much brighter with that heat embossing. So we are not done heat embossing, so I want to go ahead and do it all while we have it out. So I do want to do the time to celebrate also in the silver, because I just think it's gonna look so great. So I'm just making sure my stamp is clean, and let's go ahead and get it out here, the Versamark. And so we're just gonna make sure we have a good coat on the stamp. Okay, and that is that. So let's just go ahead and get this back out here, because I should be able to just use what I have here. And so I'm just making sure I got all the little specks off there. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this back. Oh, I didn't do well. I made a mess on my little mat here, but that's all right. I'm not gonna squabble over some spilled embossing powder. All right, so let's go ahead and get this on all the way, and that will make this go a lot faster. Ooh, lots faster. Nice. All right, so there we go. And that's how that's going to look. And I just think it's going to really have a good impact. Okay. All right. So we do still have some other stamping to do. So let me just clean those off really from the bark. And that way that is done. Okay. So we are going to now stamp some of these stars on here. Now I have the Misty Moonlight ink spot here. So we have our little stars. Well, that was not good. Ooh, fumbling here. All right, so we're gonna put some stars right up here. And we're gonna add we are still going to be doing some die cutting. So I'm just adding these around, and I'm not going to worry if the die cut goes over them. So I'm just going to, so I've just added the stars around there like so. Okay. And now I'm going to get out our die cutting machine, the little mini here. And we're doing it all today. I usually do a lot of this ahead of time, but I've decided like maybe it'd be fun for you to be a part of it. So we're going to go ahead and put that on there. Now I have some washi here that I'm going to use to tack it down. Just a little piece of washi to hold it in place. I think I want it a little bit down farther. Like right there. All right. So this, oh, I got myself all turned around. There we go. So we're going to just go over that. And this is envelope paper. So we do not have big concerns about it die cutting properly because it is pretty thin. But I still will try to pop out any elements here so that I get the best cut. Okay. So we're going to do one more on here. And that one is going to go right down here. About right there. Okay. And then I'm going to put this in here. And then that will be that. Okay. So I'm going to just put my little machine away now. And let's just do this right here. Put that out of there. And let me poke these out. These little stars that pop out of here are the cutest little things. I think they would make great confetti. But my goodness, you'd have to do a lot of die cutting for those. They're so precious though. Little tiny, tiny stars. Get them out of the way. And with that paper being all like ombre-ish, you get all different colors. And so that's what we end up with here. And here's our little comparison. So you're going to see like, oh my gosh, so much different once it gets all put together. So let's go ahead and finish our stamping. So on the inside of the card, I just did a little bit of additional stamping, and you got the wishing you happiness. So let's go ahead and finish that up on here. You have an idea for those stars? I can't wait to hear. Because they are teeny tiny. I am not kidding. All right, so what I did on here was I actually used the Misty Moonlight for the sentiment and the fireworks, and then for the stars I used Night of Navy. I just thought there needed to be a little bit extra contrast, so I'm using the Misty Moonlight. And I might do this placement a little different. Felt like it was a little, at first I thought it was fine for it to be all lopsided like that, but I really didn't love it once I had it finished. So, and I could just keep adding to that if I wanted, but I just decided that I was going to stop. All right, so wishing you happiness. And that's all with the Misty Moonlight. And then I have my Night of Navy right here. And I'm going to use that for the stars. So there. And then I just turn my stamp one to the right. And then I do it again. And I do it again. And we're going to do one more. There we go. So that's the inside right here. All right, so we got that. And now I think we are ready to put our card together. All right, so we can go ahead and put this on the inside of our card. And again, this piece was 4 inches by 5 1/4. It's pretty much standard layer size for inside the card base. Okay. Grab my bone folder. And I don't think I actually burnished that, so we'll do that. Let me put my die cut back so before I lose it. And that, I'm going to get a drink. We enjoy going on a road trip, so we drove up to Buffalo, New York. I have family still there from where I was born there. And so see how that is just a teeny tiny amount on there. So we're going to go ahead and put this one down. I'm really going to be curious which one you like better. The Pool Party without the embossing, the heat embossing, or the Misty Moonlight with the heat embossing. And maybe you just like the heat embossing. Maybe you like the Pool Party. I'm curious. All right, so this is going to go on to here. We're just going to go ahead and glue that down in the center. And that's the foil that will go behind the layer that's going to go on top with the die cutting. Okay. And just like that. And then this is going to get adhered to here. Right in the center. Now, one other thing I thought about doing was adding, if I had some, but I didn't go look for it, but if I had a little silver trim, like we used to have like silver thread and stuff like that would be fun to wrap around and do like a little bow. You know, that would be kind of a fun thing to add. But I still think it's pretty without it. So we're going to continue here. All right, then what I'm doing here is we're going to pop this up. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and use these little mini ones because they're right here. Ordinarily, I would not. But trying to just do some placement so that there's support throughout, since this paper is very thin. It doesn't have much support on its own. All right, so that's that. And I was going to say, where did I take your picture? Let's see if I can get these off of here quickly. think I got them all. All right. So now this is going to go right on here. And that foil, oh, I need my glasses. Oh, what's that? How did I end up with our, oh, I was like, how did I, there was something red there. All right, so this is just going to get layered right on top of here like that, okay? And so these are our two cards that are basically the same, but different coloring. As you can tell, this one's got foiling on it. Now, I did do some Wink of Stella on here just to give it a little boost. Now, I do think because this is my stepped up one, I'm going to add these little gems onto the centers of the two die cut fireworks. So that's just another little thing that you could do. And there's no dimensionals there, so that doesn't add to the piece. And so, hi Lonnie, thanks for joining. Yeah, I think I like the silver embossing so much better. So it just adds a little bit more to the whole overall project. So awesome. All right, so that's my very first alternate for this one. All right, so I have one more for you today. Hopefully we won't take too long. That I knew that was going to take a little bit of time. So I have a little Z-fold card here, and we're going to use the other side of the card base that we were playing with. And I think this will go pretty quick. So I have my card base cut, but we got to do some scoring. So we're going to score. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the kind words. We're going to score, this is 4 1/4 by 11. We're going to score at 5 1/2. And then we're going to do one at 2 3/4 here. Will there be a reel save later? I missed most of this. Oh, yes, this is going to be well, it's on the Facebook page, wherever you're watching it from. It will be there for the next 30 days, but you can also find me on YouTube, and this will be on, it's streaming to YouTube currently as well. And so under Red Daisy Crafts, you can find me. All right, so now we need our other piece here, and we need our envelope piece back. So we have our leftover envelope piece, and we have this card base. So what I have here is this piece is coming from the card base, this piece is coming from the card base, and this is going to come from the envelope. And each one of these are measured at, let me get my notes here. So they're going to be 4 inches by 2 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those, and then we need a piece of white, which I thought I had here. Where did that go? Here we go. All right, we're going to need a piece of white as well, at 4 inches by 5 1/4. So go ahead and do that really quick. And that will take care of that piece. All right, we'll get this out of the way. And then we do need a piece of that foiling. that I had. And we just need a 1/2 inch by 4 inches that I'm using as well to fill a gap, basically. So that's that. So I got those 2 pieces. Then I need this to be, I'm going to trim off the fold really quick. And then I need this to be 4 inches by 2.5. There we go. So then 2.5, which is perfect. That amazing. All right, then I need this to be 4 inches as well. Now I ended up trimming right past or just shy of the fold first, and then I trimmed this at 4, taking off as much yellow as possible, and then I cut one at 2.5. Now what I wanted was to get this whole light bulb. So since I know I have enough of this, so I'm going to go ahead and cut just past the light bulb and then flip it around and do the 2.5. So I'm just taking off that edge. Okay, and then this one I just went ahead and measured it at 2.5 because I was fine with this edge coming off. Okay, that left me with the 3 bulbs. All right, now I do need a piece of white for our sentiment. And so let me grab the white piece back. So let me see, because I don't remember what I used here. And as a matter of fact, I think I could use this strip that I already have. This was not, I ended up like masking so that I could have it shorter, but I don't really need it to be shorter, so I'm going to go with it. Well, I don't know. I think I like it. So I think if it's longer, it's going to be kind of floppy. So I need 1 inch strip. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that here. And we're going to trim it off with our scissors to make the flag or banner shape. And that is pretty much everything. So let us do our stamping first. Okay. So we are going to use this Wishing You Happiness. And what I did here was I tried to ink up the wishing part first and just get to the end of there without getting on the other one next to it, which I think I did. All right, so I'm just going to do that right here. Okay, oh, that's not good. That was dirty. I thought it was clean. I was trying to think if I used it again. All right, so let's do that again. Okay. So wishing. I was huffing on there to get it ready to be the best. Okay, now let me wash it again. And then we will do the other side. So not sure if you've ever done this, but you can also do this other ways. You can use Scotch tape to cover up some things, and like once you ink it, you can put Scotch tape on. And but this one seemed like I could do it without having to do that. There was enough space there, and so it's just up to you what you're comfortable with. And there. So now I'm just going to try and center that below here like that. So now I have wishing you happiness on 2 lines instead of one long line. Okay. So I'm just going to snip that off, and then we're going to make our own little banner here. Okay. And let's go from corner to middle. Not sure I got exactly in the middle, but I think it'll be fine. I feel like it's taken me a long time to be decent with that. All right, so now we can go ahead and put our card together. So we have here, this piece is going to go right here. And then we have this piece here. Oh, we have a little bit more stamping. I see. I forgot. And then we are going to have this piece go here. And then this is going to leave about 1/4 of an inch there, and it's going to go there. So that when it folds up, you have like a continuous image going there. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and do this stamping before I forget again. All right. So what we have, flip that around. We just have a few fireworks and stars, just like the other one. So let me go ahead and get that. Again, I did the fireworks in the Misty Moonlight. So we're just going to do this real quick, and then we can put our card together. There's that. Now we will do the Night of Navy for the stars. Da-da-da. And just turn. Just turn right there. And that's that. All right. So that's what we end up with there. Okay. All right. Now I think we can go ahead and put our card together. Now we are going to need the little pieces that we took from the envelope whenever we got started today. And get that out of the way. And move this. Take a quick drink. Thank you for watching. All right. This is now going to go pretty quick. All right. So let's put our pieces on to our card base. Right there. And this one's going to go right next to it. Now this one, we're going to first put this foil piece down. Have any of you already made all your cards, or are you making any of them yet? I mean, I know it's not quite July if you're making them for, well, here in the States for the 4th of July, or if you're just making them for celebration, graduation. I am thinking I will use this one for a graduation gift that I need to mail. My dear friend, her son graduated from college, and I need to send a little gift his way. So there, let's just double check, see if we need to adjust anything before we glue it down. No, perfect. All right, still making them for now. You've been busy with, and oh yeah, oh, you got 4th and 6th graders. Well, I bet they're looking forward to summer. Are they already out or still in school? I know not everybody is done yet. That's such an exciting age. I know when I was that age, I couldn't, yep, 2 more weeks, got it. I remember when I was that age, I just couldn't wait to go to the pool every day and hang out, swim as much as I could. So I like to use these really skinny strips for things like this lantern, as opposed to like sticking a bunch of dimensionals on here. And since I had them handy, I figured why not? So I'm just, and these are things that are available in online. Unless you've kept them from like a past kit, because sometimes we get them in our paper pumpkin kits. But I figure this is going to work really good for here. All right, so we are going to add this over here, similar to how the original plan for the card was in the instructions. So I'm just adding this about 1/4 of an inch in, just like that. Okay. And so I'm going to go ahead and burnish my score lines so that everything is folded nicely. And this doesn't always like to lay very nice. Oh well. All right, so we're going to add our little sentiment right here. Now I am just going to glue this down here. I don't love that I have that yucky, but I guess it's not going to show. But I want to make sure I don't have any glue back there. It shows like that, but it's not a big deal. Most people aren't going to see it, right? So then what I did with my little light bulbs, because I didn't understand the idea around what the kit was doing, I decided to add my bulbs in a different way. So I am going to put the little dimensionals on here. And then I have like a little strip here I'll cut off. And stick that right on that bulb there. Okay. And all I did was I added these. So this little one looks to be about the same size as this smallest die cut. So I just left a little bit of a shadow behind it. Okay. Showing. Then the next one, I just kind of put over the next one. Like so that it didn't show. And then the same for the last one. And I just let them go graduating down like that. So that there's just that little added kind of dimension going on over here. Because I don't really understand what the thought was around those hanging off of here. Thought that was kind of different. And I thought this was better. So the last thing we're going to do is just add a couple of gems to our card and to give it some little bit of extra bling going on. And that is our second alternate. So I will work on the other two card bases to come up with some ideas for those. But that's what we have for this week. And so much fun. I think there's some good ideas going on in my head. I definitely think we might be doing a shaker card. So thanks for joining. If you are not already a subscriber of mine on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel. And if you're interested in joining my Facebook group, please come over and join my Facebook group. Or follow me, Red Daisy Crafts. I also have a group that you have to answer some questions in order to get in. And that is called the Paper Pumpkin Kit Hangout. Paper Pumpkin and Kit Hangout, excuse me. So thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Wanda. Thank you for being here. And I will look forward to seeing you next week. Y'all have a great week ahead. Bye.